Let's try this again. Are we connected? Boy, not a lot of people on the YouTube tonight. Alright, so I am just going to kind of get tools out and ready, and yeah, buddy. The biggest news, we picked up our corded bandsaw. So this is our giveaway. We got the box, we got the case, and the blades. I don't actually remember. I don't think blades are with blade covers. 6-speed cutting capacity of 5x5. Yeah, if I remember right, this doesn't come with blades, but I'm gonna go pick up probably 10 blades from our welding supply guy tomorrow, and then yeah. So it's gonna be a good giveaway for whoever wins it. Again, all you gotta do is, hey, who we got watching? Howdy, long time since we chatted. Hey, Will, nice to see you. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought completely already. That's why I drove like 8 hours today. It's a nice tool. I use mine literally every week. I've made hundreds of cuts with it at this point. So to win it, you just have to go find the video on my channel. It says win a free, I think it just says a corded bandsaw. And then there's a keyword, Hercules, you have to put in the comment section. And then you have to be subscribed. So they don't include blades, but I'm going to pick up 10 blades tomorrow. And I can't remember the brand name, Linex or something like that. I think they're better than what you get at Harbor Freight. So, in fact, I could probably look around here for a box, or no, I can't because I know they're all in there. So, but yeah, shop is a total disaster because we were hustling to get a job done before we left. Every vehicle we had needed an oil change. Both of our engine drive welders still need oil changes. I was hoping to get the Lincoln done before we left, but I didn't. And of course, we have to go out on 3 repairs tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get them all done tomorrow, but it's going to suck because it's literally, I drive 30 miles north, I hit 1 repair, and then 40 miles south, I hit another repair, and then I drive another about 35 miles south and hit another repair, and then come home. So it will be a good day, but it will be a long day. And as long as the oil level in the welder is good, I'm not going to worry about changing it before I go. Another thing was before we left, I needed to source a head for my tractor. And I found a guy. He was literally 2.5 hours away. So the night before we left for vacation, I drove down there, picked up a head for the tractor. So this week, I'm hoping we'll be like this close. If we're not this close this week, then next week we should have the tractor back. When the tractor's back, my Lincoln Ranger 305 G, I'm thinking we are going to redo that this year. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to put our Hobart that we have out back, this is probably what will happen, is I'll probably take the Hobart out back, put it on the truck if we need it, take the 305 and redo the 305, so in the spring it's ready to rock and roll. We bought it used from a bridge builder, and there is concrete like caked on the side, so I want to rip off all decals, straighten up some of the tin, spray it, new paint, fresh decals, and then for whatever reason, and this obviously we'll look into this first, the engine runs strong, but it doesn't idle. So it just runs full idle. So we need to figure out why that's going on. And then the other thing, because that's really annoying when you're on a job and your engine's drives running, which means full throttle, which means you're constantly wasting fuel. And if you got to stop and do math, or you got to cut something with a torch, it's like, do I shut it down? Do I let it run full throttle? All that stuff, really annoying. So we want to get that fixed. And then the other thing, it quit welding the other day. Throttle solenoid, most likely. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Hoping it's a quick, simple little fix. And then it feels like it needs a board because it quit welding on me when I was on a job like a month ago with it. So in the meantime, I just pulled the welding leads off because it won't weld anyways. In the meantime, we're just going to stick weld, use it as the power supply, and stick weld with our little Lincoln buzz box here. Anyways, get it all redone and ready to go in the spring. And once we get past January, we have like this weird, like February month has always been a very low spot as far as mobile welding goes. And with our constant drive of doing shop work, that's continuing more and more. So I'm hoping at that low session, we can just, hop on that and get that ready and redone and raring to go. I want it to look like a brand new welder, even though it will have probably about 5,000 hours on it by that time. It can look brand new, and if we can source one cheap enough, which it's a very common Kohler motor in those, we might just rebuild it. So the motor's rebuilt, and then, look at all the internals, and we usually make our decision. And then it keeps my father-in-law busy, and it keeps me busy, and we can, work on it. And then, because some of the stuff we do, the kid we have starting in the spring, I'd like to be able to just cut him loose to go do some of it. It might not happen solely next year, but I don't like things to have quirks, because then you have to teach them how the quirks work. I'd rather it just be a finer in a machine ready to start and roll whenever. So, yeah. So anyways, we were out shopping, and I said, hey, I know, I'm going to stop at a Harbor Freight. And we picked up the last corded bandsaw that they had there. So I'm glad I stopped and picked it up, because it's a 45-minute drive to our closest Harbor Freight from my area. So, and it's like they're in the opposite directions, one north, one south. So if I go to the one in the south and they don't have it, then I have to drive an hour and a half north and hope they have it. I could call ahead, but that's only if I use my thinking cap. But so yeah, so our tractor should be done. We'll do more short videos, and I'll record the first startup and everything with it. Tomorrow will be a run-in day. We are in the middle of a flatbed build that I had to drop because we were going on vacation for 5 days, and then we were going on vacation for 5 days, and now I get here and I'm gonna have at least a day into going out and doing service repairs. And then I have these are another big turnaround job. These are drain boxes for roofs. They're a live roof company. So if you ever drive by and you see like moss on rooftops, that's the company. That's what they do. And we do repairs for them, and then we do what little metal production runs they need. We do those. So we're going to do about 50 parts. They're 2 foot by 2 foot, and then we're going to do like 10 of the 1 foot by 1 foot. And the 1 foot by 1 foot aren't drain boxes. They're actually to anchor harnesses down when the guys are up installing the roofs. So, so we do that. So we have those this week, and hopefully we can get that flatbed done. It's a big one. It's a dually, boxes, hitch, all the good things. But the guy's already been waiting a little longer, and I'd like him to wait for it. And he's a super nice guy. And when I was talking to him, he did tell me, hey, I don't use the truck. Not planning on using it really till spring. He says, I don't want it to sit here forever, but But I want it, you know, if things pop up, basically. Yeah. I know one of you guys just asked how I liked my XR table. I like it a lot. I like it really, really well. If you're buying one, here is my only complaint with it. And you're going to have this on any bolt-together machine, and solid welded frame machines are going to be a jump in price. You could, if you wanted to, grind off the paint and weld the table solid once you got it square. For me, what this has seemed to work, I didn't know how bad it would be, so I just ran the table how they tell you to build it in the instructions, right? And what I was realizing was when you have that fast 400-inch travel per minute and then it comes to a stop, you'll get a little shake. Every time you stop, you'll get a little shake, And eventually, it will shake screws loose. Add lock washers or Loctite. I added Loctite, and I haven't had to tighten up any screws. And we run the table we probably have someone running the table hard, part after part, 20 hours a week right now. Yeah, it's one of them things. It's my first 4x8 table. Guys, if you've watched, you know I had the Crossfire Pro before it. The XR is a great table. It's just one of them things. Don't we all? It's just one of them things. You do get just that little shake. But again, I literally just added Loctite. My thought was, I'll do this. If they keep shaking loose, I'll just weld the frame. Because, I mean, it's metal. It can happen. And the way things are going, I don't know, like, if we'll keep with plasma tables or if we'll move to lasers. Lasers are a little more attractive. So if we can just make this one work for us until we accumulate the money and, you guys are making me laugh, and buy a laser, we might just do that. But in the meantime, if I can make it work, I will. And just having a little Loctite on the screws seems to be holding. I have also changed how I wrote programs, so I don't necessarily have the machine like cutting a row and then running all the way back to the other side and starting another row. I just have it kind of work back and forth until it cuts the whole sheet. I don't really have a warpage issue, and that seems to work out just as well as it's actually faster because the machine's not traveling so far each time. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I know we have a few other people watching, and I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to enter, so I'm going to repeat this a few times. Let's see. A week from today, December 7th, we're going to be drawing the winner of this Hercules corded bandsaw. I know you probably can't see it super well, but all you have to do, go to my video that says win a free bandsaw. There's a keyword, Hercules. You have to put it in the comment section, and you have to be subscribed. You'll be entered to win. It's going to come with, you're going to get the bandsaw, the hard case. You're going to get some stickers, some hats, and a coffee mug. Oh, and then I'm going to send you with 10 blades. So, just want everyone to have a chance to enter. I think right now there's 55 people entered to win it. So your chances are pretty dang good. They're pretty good, dang good. Yeah. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be super busy in the shop between our repairs tomorrow, these production pieces. The repairs should be a day. The production pieces should be a day, maybe a day and a half. Yeah, exactly, Will. I would like to upgrade the table from the plasma. This is kind of my foresee future, what I'm hoping. Keep this plasma until I buy a laser. Buy a laser, move all of our smaller parts to the laser, and then upgrade the plasma to one of those that does plasma or oxy fuel cutting. Because we have some designs that if we can market them and make them work, we'll be cutting a lot of 1.5 or 2-inch plate. And I would like to have the oxyacetylene option too. And whether it be on the laser or on the plasma, I would like a pipe or square tubing cutting available too. Hey Noah, hey, how you doing? We were just talking about the XR, which I seen. Did I see a message from you today that you just bought one? I think I did. Howdy, I like that. Howdy. I feel like everyone says howdy these days. Alright, I'm gonna get some tools around, get all ready so I can go in tomorrow. Oh, and actually the welder's already set up. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster. What a disaster. Oh, that's about 6011. Stop it. Pick up the new box. Much easier. Yeah, I think that's how we're just going to do it. We'll just stop and get a new box. Alright guys. Whew. It's chilly. We got about 4 or 5 inches of snow since we've been gone. We were down in southern Indiana for 5 days visiting some of my wife's family for Thanksgiving. And it was really good. There's a lot of cousins and second cousins that are our age or have kids similar to our kids' age. So it's fun to get down there and watch all the Rugrats play and talk about what's been going on in their life and all those good things. Yeah, that was really fun. Looky there. That's not quite going to be enough, but I can use a lot of it. So we'll take some of that. Oh, the snow pusher, we decided instead of pushing those market as hard, we're just going to use one for a year. We'll still list them for sale, but we're not going to try and take them to a distributor this year. We're just going to do private sale and see how we can do with that. I would like to move 5,000 of them. 5,000, excuse me. I'd like to move 5,000 of them, but $5,000 worth of them. I'm not sure what we're going to retail them for. My original plan was to have that thing done in September, but we got way busier with work than I anticipated. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have. We were busier than I thought. It does suck because I wanted to have those done and ready to go. And some of the guys who want to supply some of our products were kind of excited about them, but the good news was the one guy who is really pushing to supply some of our products, he was the one who gave us a lot of the unexpected work. So I told him when he was asking if I could do the work, I said, we definitely can, but it's going to push our snow pushers back. So just kind of happened. Okay, I think your name was Matt. Right now, I don't need a shop guy. We have a guy starting in the spring, and historically, winter is our slowest time of the year. So it's kind of just keeping myself busy, doing maintenance on equipment. I was just saying we're going to redo, we're redoing my tractor right now. After that, we're probably going to redo my 305G, my Lincoln engine drive. So for right now, it's pretty much just keep myself busy until the weather breaks and spring's here, and then we'll have a new guy. So sorry about that. For this foreseeable future, I think I'm good. But if I ever do need a helper on a job or anything like that, I have posted on here or on my Facebook or anything like that before. What area are you in, Matt? Do you run like your own rig or anything like that? Because there are times where I get jobs that maybe we're not insured to do, or I just don't have time to do, and that's usually, I try to go to my Facebook community or my YouTube community, which is pretty much the same guys. West Michigan. Okay, perfect. So if I get jobs that I don't want to do or I don't have time to do or whatever, if you're on Facebook, look me up and add me on Facebook. That's usually what I tell guys to do, and then I will shove jobs that way. It happens, but yeah, it's kind of slow everywhere, I feel like, right now, because contractors across the board. I don't really want to get like super political or anything, but this is the third election. I guess it is the third election. I wasn't on my own during the first one, but I was doing side work. For whatever reason, in my experience anyways, on election years, it's always super dead. Because I think, things are obviously happening and everyone's kind of just sitting around to see what happens. So, yeah. But yeah, and this year, it's pretty much rang true too. Which luckily, like the first year I was just doing side work, so I didn't really like pay attention to it. I didn't actually realize until I was doing taxes and I was breaking down each quarter and month's income, and then I saw this big dip and I thought, well, that's weird. And then the second election, I didn't plan for anything of that either until I saw that pattern repeat. So then this year we were kind of thinking that, well, maybe that's what's going on. And maybe that will happen again, and it definitely did. We got about September, and we got really slow. If it wasn't for my one dealer there who had a bunch of work to keep us busy, I almost might have been panicked, because there was just a lot of the other calls that normally come in just weren't coming in. Some of our stuff is weather-based too, and we've had a weird... the last 12 months, let's put it this way, for us, at least in my view, in Michigan, has been a weird weather pattern. Everything was happening super early, and then this year it seems things are kind of happening. It got cold late, and then now we have snow again. Like, I remember a lot of years when we didn't have snow on Thanksgiving. I remember a lot of years where we didn't have snow up until Christmas. So it's kind of one of them trade-off things. I mean, I know it happens all the time. It's different, but it's weird because when I was really, really little, I remember snowboarding on my birthday, which, I mean, that's December. So, yeah, just kind of weird, but just doing what we can do to stay busy. How is everyone doing with steel prices? For us, they've seemed to come down a little bit in the past year or so. I'm curious how everyone else is. Yeah, I'm just north of Muskegon by like 30 minutes. So, yeah, we have 5 inches here, which we just got back from southern Indiana today, where they had nothing, and it was literally like 42 degrees. And I kid you not, when we crossed into the Michigan state lines, oh my gosh, it was like there was snow on the ground. Like, stupid. Yeah, that's what, I think for quarter-inch plate, 4x8, I think I'm paying like 180-ish, maybe? I mean, I'm buying more than one sheet at a time, but yeah, they definitely went in the right direction, and I think my supplier sources most of it through Canada, so I'm not complaining there. Um, for all my Michigan guys, because I think I got a couple watching, how about that Michigan-Ohio State game? I sat down to watch that, and I was thinking to myself, man, like, I'm not trying to down ourselves here, but I did not think Michigan had a really good shot. Our offense just, it's not as strong as it was in the past years, and the Michigan defense, or the Ohio State defense is supposed to be like a top 10 defense, and 13. That's the kind of football game I love to watch because it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. 3/16. Is that a 4x8 sheet? Just one of them? That's not bad. I think I'm paying like $150 a sheet, but I'm usually buying 5 or more at a time, which has been really good. It's kind of been nice. I figured out, like, all the products we make, most of them are made out of a couple of really big commons. So, like, whether it's 4-inch C-channel or 3-inch C-channel or 3/16 plate, all that stuff, to where I know, like, we'll get orders for these so I can buy 5 or more at a time, and then, yeah. Looks like you got some shiny in the background. Oh, you're probably talking about this aluminum. It's just for a job. They're going to be drain boxes for a live roof company. I do them every year. At the end of the year, they order how many they think they're going to need for the next year. This year, I think they're thinking they're going to need 40... They're going to need 80, but they sent me the materials to do 40 at a time. So, it's a good little production run. If you guys, we were just talking about not having, like, a ton of welding work. And I haven't done this as much as I wanted to this year. I've kind of been waiting to see. We were hemming and hawing about if we were going to sublease shop with a couple of the other guys we work with. It was going to be divided, but, like, one's a diesel mechanic and all that stuff. Anyways, we ended up not doing it. But I was kind of waiting to see, like, if I was going to be in a bigger facility or still have to work out of this garage and just kind of see what I wanted to do. But I have had some success in the past going to little manufacturing companies. And around COVID time, when things were getting hard to get, and then when shipping's kind of been expensive since, seeing if I could find local manufacturing companies that, like, these guys, they manufacture grow. I guess they manufacture it too, but they grow, like, it's an assembly line. So they have all this different kinds of moss, as weird as that sounds, but different kinds of moss, and then they harvest it, send it through an assembly line where it dumps it into boxes, and then shoots it out the other side, and then they take it from the boxes and they go install it on roofs. And it's supposed to, if I understood correctly when I got a tour of their facility, it's supposed to help purify the air in, like, inner cities where they have a lot of pollution, because greens produce better oxygen. So for them, like, their big thing that they manufacture, like, that they need, their big ingredients are dirt. They don't have a welder on hand. They have a maintenance guy, but he doesn't do any welding. So it started by a guy I had done work for saw my truck and asked if I would be interested in subcontracting maintenance at their at where he worked. So I gave him a card. His boss called me like 3, 4, 5 weeks later, said, "Hey, we got your card. We have some maintenance that needs done." And I went and I fixed, I think I had to, like, re-weld. They had 4 trailers, which these people had trailers up the wazoo, but their big harvest season was about to come. And I think it was 4 hitches I welded, cut out old ones and welded new hitches onto trailers. So literally 7018, and all the, like, you didn't need a lot of tools. A torch, a grinder, and some 7018, and I did this job, paid decent. So I had the money, and then he showed me these parts, and he says, "Hey, could you fab up some parts?" And it was just a little clip that held the boxes when they went through the assembly line. So we made like 200 or 300 of those. Made a little jig, 20-ton press, pressed them all out. It was really time consuming. I cut them all out with a hand grinder. This is back when I didn't have any tools, but bent them, and then had to pull out a bunch of little tabs, all that stuff. Did those. The next time they order them, it will be way easier because of the tools I have now. And then they showed me one of these boxes. And they said, we'll supply the metal, but the trouble, long story short, the trouble they were having was finding bigger companies that were manufacturing their own things to weld these for them. Nobody wanted to take the time to do it, because how they do it is we do one big run at the end of the year, and then they try to make those last all year. Sometimes they may order an emergency rush order in the spring. Me being desperate for work, I said, yeah, I could do it. I took the money I made from welding the hitches on and making the little clips, went and bought a saw, and all I have to do is they'll deliver the aluminum. I have to 45 the ends, clean them up, weld them together, and make sure their lids fit on them. I do that, and we don't have a problem, and everything goes good. And then, at the end of each year, they order them. So, yeah, we usually make, I think the first year we made 40 because they had some left over, and then the next year was 80, and I think this year they're ordering 82. And then I gave them a price list because it is getting to the point where I'm getting busier. I'm doing a bed right now, so these are kind of, when they order them, it's like a last minute call, oh, hey, we really need these, right? So I'm going to give them a price list, say, this is per unit when we do 80 of them. This is per unit if we do 300 of them. And then you guys are set for 2 or 3 years. And then we'll still do an emergency. I'm there every so often doing repairs, so I'll be able to see where you guys are on inventory, and we can talk on when we'll do more. That way, it's maybe a week every 3 years, but a pretty decently good paycheck when I do it. So that's just kind of something I've been tooling around with. I'd make less money per unit, but it wouldn't pop up as much. As long as one time in the spring they called me, not because they ran out, because they had a new guy on the high-low. No, wait. It wasn't this company, but it was something I did similar for another company. They had a new guy in a high-low, and he caught something with a high-low, tipped something over, and crushed all of these parts that I had just made them. So they had to order more, which that company, the part wasn't as expensive or anything. It was like a $3 a part piece, but they ordered 1,000 of them, I think, and I think that I had to send them another 300. So, but yeah, so those are just, if you're looking for work, that is an avenue you could try to take. Just you could cold call, or you could go knock on doors and just say, hey, we're metal fabricators in your area, and we're just wanting to know if there's anything that you need maintenance done on, because for the holidays, a lot of places are closing down to do maintenance. Or is there anything you need for, parts or anything you need made, if that's within your wheelhouse. All right. Guys, if you're just starting to tune in, 7 days from now, we're giving away a Hercules corded bandsaw, 10 blades, and a bunch of merch. It's absolutely free. It's our Christmas giveaway. All you have to do, go to the video on my YouTube account, my YouTube page, and it says the title something, win a free corded bandsaw. Comment Hercules in the comment section, and then you have to be subscribed to my channel. And on my birthday, December 7th, I will draw a winner, and then I cover shipping to anyone in the lower 48. if you're in Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, Mexico, Australia, if you want it, you win. Let me finish this real quick. But yeah, if you if you win it, we will work something out with shipping. If you're in, Alaska, Hawaii, Canada, Mexico, Australia, whatever, we'll work it out. I just don't know what it will cost, so I'm not eager to jump up and say I'll cover it. To not chop my head off on a shipping cost. But I'll do it. We'll work it out somehow. Whether it's, we'll get your zip code. I think other countries work with zip codes. If not, it will be a learning experience. But right now there's like 55 people entered, so go do that. See if you can win this. I mean, I figured it out between the blades, the merch, the tool. You get the hard case, the whole shibata. It's about a $250 value, plus the shipping. So you're probably going to be over $300. And I mean, what can I say? It's a good tool. I have an idea for our July 4th giveaway that we're going to try to do, which I believe, Abraham, if you're still watching, that was actually his idea that we do a July 4th giveaway, and I'm excited for that because, I like America, so why not do a giveaway to help out some fellow guys on the nation's birthday. I have an idea. I know at one point we were talking about fireball tools, squares, America. That's right, buddy. I don't know if we'll do squares because I want to be able to use the tool, and that's not on my list of tools that I feel like I just absolutely need right now. But there is a couple of tools that I think I absolutely need right now that I might snag after the first of the year, or maybe even before, and then we can use them and progress that way. One of them might be a tubing roller. Probably going to get the Harbor Freight one. If it works out good for me, maybe that will be our giveaway. If it's what I need, but it's not doing the job I need, we'll look for a better one. And if that one does the job I need, we'll give that one away. A new one of whatever that model is. Another thing I'm looking at is mag drills. A lot of stuff I can get the holes just fine on the XR. There's a lot of other times where, boy, a mag drill is what I need. So, again, we might start out with a cheaper one. The 5x10 table, which is buried in all that stuff over there, I actually want to Vivo or whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about doing. Okay, so good. So if you think that's a good tool, I'm going to try it. If it does what I need it to do, that might be our giveaway for this is for July 4th. So we're, 7 months away? Which really doesn't seem like in 7 months we're going to be celebrating 4th of July. And I might even do an option. So if there's two tools I really like, you'll get to pick which one would work best for you. Because I know, like you, Abraham, I know a lot of guys have that tool. So maybe a mag drill is a better option for you. I'm going to start out with one of the cheap ones because I've been wanting to do this video for a while. And see if we can destroy it, burning all the holes to make the 5x10 table a 5x10 fixture table. So it's a 3/8 plate top, and we'll probably drill holes every 2 inches, maybe every 3 inches, and go from there. If it works out good, then another tool I thought about building is just a little 3x2 fixture table. For all the smokers we build, we don't really get much bigger than a 3x2, I guess that's not true. Maybe we'll go a 4x2. cooking grate, and I'd love to be able to just have a littler, smaller fixture table for that, that someone could sit over and just make grates. Um, the 5x10 table, it's when the top's done, it's also going to get put up on wheels, so it can roll in and out of the shop as I need it to. Oh, really? That stuff works with rebar. That's actually really good to know, because I guess I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, I know it's not perfectly round, but that's good to know. That's good to know. Hey, how does the freelance code caller work for you? Because I have thought about it. I don't mind cold calling, but it's definitely a volume thing, and I do not have 2 hours a day to sit down and cold call people. So yeah, let me know if you've had any success with that whatsoever. So as you guys watch, we have two sides of our business. We have a welding side, which a lot of you see on YouTube. We don't really talk much about our construction side, where we flip houses. We kind of just use it as supplemental income. And basically, like, about a year ago, when my wife and I had our first baby, I was staying home watching our son a lot, and so I had to cut back on some of my welding work, and I wanted a way to where I could cut back on some of the labor that I was doing, but I could still do something that made money. So I was looking at a few options. I thought about buying roll-off dumpsters and just doing like roll-off dumpsters to where I had him, we could go move dumpsters around. Three emails in a day. Have you got any jobs from it yet? I mean, it sounds good. Maybe I'll look into it. Anyways, I thought about doing roll-off dumpsters. There was a lot of things I thought about doing. Roll-off dumpsters was a big one. I'm glad I didn't do it. I mean, it's something I'd like to do eventually, but it wasn't what I needed to do at the moment. It was because I was looking at about 14 grand to spend to get into it and still have almost no customers outside of the contractors that I currently work with, which some of them were like, well, basically I was talking about buying 2 roll-off dumpsters and the trailer, and then doing a little work on my truck to get ready for it. Plus, then I found I needed a CDL to operate, so that's $5,000 there. So I wasn't like super eager to do it, but I was kind of like, it's something that I could do just driving around and all that stuff if I had the kid with me. Then I decided when I was in high school, I did voc class, but I didn't do welding. I did construction. We built cabins, we finished the inside of them, all that stuff. And then after high school, I worked on a crew who did interior remodels. So I thought, man, I have all this knowledge, and I started going through the tools, and I had it all. Yeah, do you make a lot of money doing roll-off dumpsters? I don't know. I was looking at it to be like 21 grand buy-in, and I don't know. I wasn't super eager to do it. This is what I ended up doing. So I knew what I needed. I've seen those on Facebook. They look really sharp. And that was one thing, and I'm still thinking like, man, I could do roll-offs and then just build roll-offs and sell them too. That, when I figured out I wasn't getting into a bigger building, I kind of squashed that dream. But anyways, to finish my story, I had the know-how. I had a list of contractors that we already work with. I know enough that BS'd with on things. I don't know it all, but I know more or less what needs to happen. So what I did, called all my contractors, and I said, hey, do you have a problem sourcing guys for this, that, and the other thing? Nice. And they said, yeah, like, we're having trouble finding flooring crews, trim crews, and paint crews, and then a couple of them were having trouble finding concrete guys. So I just went through the list of people I've worked with, and I said, oh, this is a concrete guy, and I was submitting it to my contractors, and then basically I was just kind of like a general contractor, finding guys. And then as that built and built, we can come in and paint a house or trim a house pretty fast. And my sister, that's what she did. She was like a stay-at-home mom, and they flipped houses. So she was looking for some work, and I see some painting, trim work, or floor work, and anyways, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, she's been doing a lot of that, and then I'm still moving concrete guys around and doing all that kind of stuff, just to kind of make up for that income that I lost when I was staying home to hang out with my kiddo. And now the fun thing is my wife is a stay-at-home mom, so I'm back to working full weeks. But I built that whole side, so and that's been tremendously helpful for us, like this year alone, is knowing like is networking to where everything I'm doing to make money isn't labor intensive. A lot of times it's answering a call and, hey, can you get here? No, okay, I'll call the next guy, can you get here? And after 5 years of welding, and I've always kept a good list of who I've done jobs for. Everyone who calls me and we do a job for them, I write their name down, their address, their phone number, and then what they do. Concrete, masonry, framing, whatever it ends up being. Mechanic, auto detailing, whatever it ends up being. And and I just float. Most of these guys, if you go do work at their house or they come drop something off, they have their name on the side of the truck or a sign out in front of the yard, all that kind of thing. So it's been a good way to network. And then it also builds my relationship with those customers, so they're more likely to be a return customer. Because I'm giving them work, they're giving me work, and it all works out good in the end. Anyways, on for about 10 more minutes. If there's any questions you guys got, let me know. I'm going to try to do a live every day this week to make sure as many people get a chance to enter this bandsaw as possible. Might be kind of one of them things where we're doing a live, and I may be sorting some tools or stuff like that, because my shop is filthy. But yeah, this one's been good. An hour is a good time. I'd like to do a longer one. I'd like to hit 3 hours, 4 hours, and sit down and answer questions. But yeah, it's tough. But yeah, we were talking about things getting slow. I haven't had, outside of these 3 repairs tomorrow, which I knew was coming, it was just a matter of time. Yeah. One of the guys I work with just a little south of me, same thing. I asked, because we were building a flatbed for his truck, and I said, well, how does it work? Do you need your truck? And he goes, oh, no, I don't work all winter. I just do maintenance, get things built that I want. He does kind of 2 things. He does masonry work, but then he owns a meat processing facility. It's really small. I know they're certified in that. So and pigs, or maybe his brother does pigs. I can't remember which one. So the only thing they do is they'll cut up your deer for you if you drop your deer off in hunting season. And then they process all of his cattle, and then they sell it, and then they process all of his brother's pigs and sell it. So, and that's all he does. So like this time of year, I wouldn't even try getting a hold of him. He's probably neck deep in work, making sure all of his masonry stuff gets finished, and then running through all that stuff. But then that's all he does is he goes to the meat room, he calls it, like every day. He's got set hours, hangs out there, calls to schedule work. A couple of his guys hang out there if he's on vacation. One time, it was a sweet setup, and he said, like, for most of his stuff, The deer, you know, that's pretty much done. Like it's busy, but it's done in like a month or two. Um, Most of the meat processing they do, they're selling the beef by the whole, half, or quarter. So that's pretty much, once it gets done, people are just coming to pick it up. And then there's, I think he says he does like 2 or 3 cows that he keeps back, and they sell by the slice. People come in and just pick it up. Keeps them busy all winter. But I thought it was a really cool setup. I've always wanted to do that. I tell my wife all the time, the original business I wanted to start was a meat market bakery combo. That was my original business model. And then I wanted to get to the point where we could run our own cows and stuff. But then I got certified as a welder, and I started watching Chucky 2009 here on YouTube, and I thought, well, that'd be kind of fun, just make shit all day. And yeah, so this 5 years in, it's what we've been doing. Yeah. Let's see, what else is good? We have some new products coming out next year. So this year we did all vertical smokers. Built one, marketed it. We sold like 20 of them. Pretty good. And that's verticals alone. Next year we're gonna try and do horizontals too, and then all that stuff. So yeah, I bet we have all seen, I can almost guarantee we have all seen a Chucky 2009 video and a Jody welding tricks and tips video. I guarantee, if you're a welder who hangs out on YouTube, I can almost guarantee you've seen those 2 guys. I'll give you 3 other ones that I love watching. And, Jacob Schofield, he built some pretty sweet welding beds. He hasn't really been super active. I don't really know why. I think maybe he got done pipelining and he's just busy running crews now. Austin Ross, he's down in Oklahoma. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Yep, Stillwater. He's great to watch. He does a lot of rig videos. He's got a sweet Dodge, and does pipe fence and entrances. Love that. I could move out to the big western sky country and build pipe fence all day. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a flooded market, but what little pipe fence jobs I've done, I love doing them. If I ever get super famous on here, I can go weld pipe with him. That'd be cool. And my favorite guy to watch on YouTube, probably pretty accurate that we've all seen him run a torch, is IC Welds. Isaac, I think, is his first name. He has a sweet truck, a little bit different, but a sweet truck, and he fixes a lot of heavy equipment, which is one of my favorite things to weld on, is heavy equipment. But I love watching them guys. They're super knowledgeable, they seem like they want to help. I mean, that, and like the thing I like about, like with Chucky, I loved watching him, but it was always just, he was pretty much making shit to make money off of YouTube, you know? And we didn't really see much of his day-to-day life. Oh, buddy, you are catching me on like the last 2 minutes I'm gonna do this. We just got home today. I was on the road for 8 hours today, and I haven't even been inside yet. AM Custom Fab as well. Okay, I'll check that one out. The other guy, I don't think is Austin Ross's brother. He's a fun guy to watch. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like like Austin Ross, I think a lot of his content, he'll take you on jobs, but a lot of it is welding jobs for YouTube, I think, or tutorials or anything like that, which it's good, it's helpful, but I don't know, there's something about being out on the job, and IC welds, all of that, like, clock, but it's just good to see that real world that real world reality of what goes on. But all right, guys, I just seen my dog walk up to the back door, and it's cold out. So I'm going to go let him in the door and go take my boots off and hang out for a few hours before we start work tomorrow. Yeah, Will, nice catching up with all of you guys. Again, tomorrow, I'm going to say 6 p.m. We're going to be out here doing another live. That's usually when I like to try to end my days. So tomorrow, 6 p.m., we'll do live here again. Last time I'll say it, we got 1 week before we draw the winner of the Hercules corded bandsaw. You get the bandsaw, the hard case, an Anson's hat, an Anson's mug, and some Anson stickers. And I'll cover ship. Until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.